Good morning, everybody. We are up near beautiful Kershaw, South Carolina, and got a little bit of a different video for you guys today, just a little bit, but still going to be in the arena of what I do. We're going to be checking out a remote controlled mulcher by Prinoth today, so I'm going to show you guys that, and we're also going to check out a remote controlled like cherry picker lift thing for you guys out there that do all the tree work, which I don't do, but we're gonna check the thing out anyway because it looks pretty cool. And I think they're gonna strap me up in a harness, take me up in a tree or something. I don't know. We're gonna get into some stuff today, but it's gonna be a really fun, really cool day. We're gonna check out some really cool equipment. So we're gonna mulch some stuff. We're gonna climb some hills. We're gonna go up, way up in the air, and we're gonna have some fun today. So let's go see what we can get into. right, everybody, check this thing out. I just got through playing with it a little bit myself, running it a little bit, and it is definitely really cool. So this is the Prinoth Raptor 100, and I know you guys have seen the Raptor 500 a few times on my channel with me hanging out with my friends over at Land Services Company. This is a whole different animal. So Prinoth makes several of these Raptor models. They make a 500 that you guys have seen. They also make a bigger 800. They also make a smaller 300, and they're actually coming out with a even smaller 200. But this is the 100, and it is a very specialized machine for a couple of different reasons. One, it is completely remote controlled. As you can see, it has no cab, it has no operator station. It comes with a remote control. It comes with 2 batteries. One's actually in the machine charging as you run it, and you know, the other one's in the controller. And so it's completely remote controlled. Up to 300 feet you can be away from this thing and be running it. Now you're gonna wonder, why is it remote controlled? Well, this thing is designed to go where a skid steer cannot go. Specifically, this thing is rated to go up vertically and horizontally across 45-degree slopes. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're an equipment operator and you've been in equipment, 45-degree slope with a piece of equipment, especially something like a skid steer, is a really damn steep slope. You do not want to be on a slope that steep with a skid steer, especially with a really heavy attachment like a mulcher on the front. This thing is designed to go in those places and mulch down material where you really just can't get a skid steer. And this thing is awesome. I'll give you guys a couple of the technical specs on it. It's 75 horsepower, no DEF. You don't have to worry about emissions on it. It comes, so you've got high flow, 30 gallons a minute, to a variable piston motor. So case drain, inflow, outflow, and case drain for pressure relief. Now this head, you can actually get this head. This is what they call a low flow head. And you can actually get these on a skid steer as well. They come, so this one's got its own mount, but you can actually get these for a skid steer mount. So if you've got a low flow or a standard flow skid steer running 65, 75 horsepower, something in that range that doesn't have the high flow pump on it, you can get one of these mulcher heads for your skid steer. CCE carries these. CCE will sell you one, and Casey can definitely hook you up. This is the 1450 model. It's basically about a 58-inch, 57-inch wide cut. This is the same drum that I've got on both of my mulchers. Running knives, depth control rings. So you got your depth control rings running the same exact teeth that I run. There's nothing really different about the drum or the teeth with this mulcher compared to mine. Same exact thing. So if you want a low flow mulcher for your skid steer, they can definitely hook you up. Now this one comes integrated into this machine, and a couple other cool features that it's got. It's got this trap door in the front where you can open and close this, and it's also got this hydraulic push bar. You can see it's got these hydraulic cylinders here where you can actually come up to a tree and actually use this push bar to push it down, or help get material that might be hung up in the vines or whatever, push it down. There was a tree top up there that when I was mulching that was caught up in some vines, and I actually hooked it with the bar and pulled it down to the ground. So this thing's got a lot of really, really cool features, but the main thing is it's designed to go where a skid steer cannot go. The other thing you're thinking, well, if it's gonna go someplace where a skid steer goes and it gets stuck or something like that happens, how do you get it out? Well, they thought of that too, because it comes with its own integrated hydraulic winch. So if you've got a big tree or a truck or another tractor out on the job, you hook up the winch and out it comes. And it's really, for its size and its power, it's really not that heavy of a machine. I believe, I will look it up really quick, I want to make sure I'm right. With the mulcher head on it, it weighs only 5,700 pounds. 5,700 pounds with the mulcher head on it, which for its size is, I thought when I first saw it, I was like, that thing probably weighs 8,000 or 9,000 pounds. I thought it was going to be super heavy, but only weighs 5,700 pounds. So it's light, it's compact, it's small. You can, I mean, at 5,700 pounds, you could probably pull this behind a 1,500 size pickup truck without too much difficulty on a decent sized utility trailer. And down the road you go and you got a mulcher. Very similar in the vein of the mini excavator as well. This thing would be great for small areas, small backyards, small fence line right-of-ways, things like that, you know. But for roadside clearing, when you're on steep slopes, if you're into that kind of stuff, like doing roadside clearing, this is your baby. Or if you're in an area like in the mountainous areas, and you're doing a lot of mulching up and down really steep slopes, this thing is awesome. It comes with the, you know, you can see how aggressive, you know, these are not skid steer style treads on this. These are really deep, really aggressive treads for going up and down hills, going through soft areas, going through mud. This thing is cool. And we mulched all this out. There were some decent size. So these trees right here that we mulched down, these are water oaks. And in my area, water oaks are some of the hardest trees to mulch. They're really tough, really dense, really fibrous trees. They don't mulch down very easily. You can always tell that it's a water oak. They have these leaves that kind of looks like a dog's tongue. And man, that thing went through them like no problem. And we turned them into wood chips pretty damn quick. So that was the one thing I was looking at that thing. I was like, is that thing really that powerful? Only, you know, being 74 horse and stuff. And it chewed through this stuff, no problem. I was super impressed with the power. Again, it's the same drum design that I run off the mini and the skid steer, my skid steer. So super impressed with this thing. It's definitely a niche piece of equipment, but if you're in that market of doing, you know, roadside stuff, steep areas, dangerous areas where you don't want to put an operator, this is your baby, man. It's a pretty sweet little setup, you know. Hell, you can sit in the truck in the air conditioner and run this thing pretty much, you know. You don't have to be outside standing next to it. 300 feet range on the remote control. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to be that far, but still, even 100 feet is a pretty good way. So yeah, I was very impressed with this thing. So if you guys want to, if you're interested in buying one, please check out my friends over at CCE Equipment. And you know, I hope this was a good demo for you guys to see what this thing can do. We're trying to find a good slope for it to go up, but they're going to send me some pictures of them working on a roadside with it. And I mean, I've seen the pictures of it. This thing will go right up a slope, no problem. So very, very cool piece of equipment here. Yeah, so if you guys got questions about it, wanted some more information about it, interested in buying one, the guys over at CCE, Carolina Construction Equipment, will hook you up. There's a link in the description below. And same thing for the lift. If you guys are interested in that thing, if you do tree work or anything like that where you need a lift, they're carrying those now too. So that was a lot of fun. I didn't know they were gonna let me run it or not. The guy's like, you wanna run it? I was like, yeah. He did. Yeah. And it's really easy to run. It's basically, the controls on it are basically pretty much like a skid steer. You got 2 joysticks and there's 2 little control levers for the door and the push bar, and that's really about it. A couple little things you got to go through to get it to turn on, and but that's it, man. It's pretty simple, not much to it, and it drives and it eats. So hope you guys enjoyed that cool little demo. Having fun out here today in Kershaw, checking out some cool hydraulic equipment today, and doing some demos and just having a good time. And this is why I love what I do, because I get to check out cool stuff like this. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and more stuff to come this week, and I'll check you guys later. Alrighty, sir, what the hell is this thing?
Aerial lift.
Aerial lift.
Leg one.
But this is a little bit different than most of your other cherry pickers, because why?
Well, this is our 74 footer. We just came out with it. It's got a completely different design than our 190 unit, which is a 62 foot lift. This is a 74 foot lift.
But it's remote controlled, right?
Remote control, yes. It's self-leveling. We have a 21 horsepower Kubota motor. We have a diagnostic system on the computer that can read pressures and flows without hooking up any exterior items.
Oh, okay.
So let's say you have a sensor that has a problem. If it's not a safety issue,
yeah,
it'll still operate.
Okay.
But it'll throw a code on here and tell you exactly which sensor it is.
Okay.
So it helps out on maintenance and mechanics.
And this thing goes 74 feet up in the air?
74 feet. All of the hoses are hidden. A lot of your tree experts out there are dropping limbs way up high. So it's less likely for limbs to hit the machine and rip wires off, what have you. We have sensors on this that'll tell you exactly how much weight you have in the basket.
Yep.
We have sensors on here that'll tell you if you're going out, it'll reach out 37 feet to the side, and by the weight that's in the basket, it'll start beeping on you, and it'll actually just stop when you get too far out.
So the guy on the ground with the control can't.
The guy with the control with our remote.
Yeah.
Basically, the remote is for. Basically, the remote is for driving it.
Okay.
And getting it set up.
Okay.
Okay.
And then once you get in the basket, you control it.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we don't want anybody operating it from the ground when somebody's in the basket.
Okay.
Because you know how these construction guys are. They'll go out there and have fun with somebody.
Oh gosh.
It's a dangerous thing. So you can start it from here. So I'll just start.
But at least if you're in the basket, you don't have to worry about having that thing strapped to you while you're trying to work.
Right.
That's nice.
All your controls are right up here.
Okay.
For the basket.
There they are.
So I can start it from here.
But I guess that's nice. You don't have to be to drive it around. You don't have to be in the basket to get it off the truck or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I've got one gray button here that'll bring your outriggers down.
Oh wow. Right up off the ground.
So it actually self-levels.
Oh. Sweet. There you go. Now you're level.
Now, when you're moving it from tree to tree, you don't have to bring your outriggers all the way up. So you can drive it from up there with your outriggers this high.
Okay.
Go to your next tree, hit the button up there,
Off you go.
and you're back up in the air again.
Okay. That's nice. Pretty convenient.
So it's very fast.
Okay.
As far as setup is concerned. So it's level right now.
Okay. Well, let's go up in a tree.
All right. Now you can operate it simultaneously. So I can do 2 booms at once.
Oh. If you get me stuck up in this thing, me and you are going to have a...
Get you stuck. Actually, I can do 3 because I'm doing the slide boom now also.
Up we go.
Now the dead man switch is on the back side of the joystick.
Okay.
So most of them will have a foot pedal down here you gotta deal with.
Okay. So you got to be pressing that button to be able to move it. Okay. So you can't just accidentally knock into the joystick, you know, working up here and it'll move and shake you or something. Well, that's a good thing to have.
Now this is your basket.
Oh, damn it.
That's electric.
Okay, so it actually rotates too like that.
Rotates, yep. Now this is your jib boom.
We can actually extend out too. Wow.
Which is this button right here.
Okay. And out we go.
So we can jib out and boom up at the same time.
Folks, we are way up in the air. I'm not gonna lie. Not yet. Not yet.
But you can see how smooth it is.
Oh yeah, this thing's totally smooth. The hydraulics on it are extremely smooth.
And I can control how fast I'm going by the joystick. Watch this. I can go real slow.
So you have fine motor control. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we're on an axis down there. We're swinging around down there. So you really do have almost like 360 degree,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you can do all kinds
around.
of different angles.
All the way around.
That's a pretty big holly tree, and we're almost to the top of it.
And we're not even close to being that high. So let's just boom out.
Out we go.
We'll boom out. Let's boom out and go up.
Holy moly.
But it's nice and smooth.
Yeah, this thing is very smooth. We're above this holly tree now. And that's a big tree, I'm not gonna lie, that's a big tree. Like I could literally shave the top of that tree off and just start working my way down if I wanted to. That's how high up in the air we are. We are as high as, almost as high as that pine tree now. Damn, I can see the water tower. This is crazy. Folks, I'm not gonna lie, we are way up in the doggone air. Up we go.
Okay, now we got a home button on this.
Okay.
Okay, let's say you're up here working and it's lunchtime. I can hold this and it's gonna take me right back down in the same sequence
That you just came
that
up.
I just came up.
Wow.
And it'll park it for me.
Doggone.
So it's gonna take us down.
Right back where we came from.
Right back where we came from. You don't have to sit there and play with the joysticks. You just hold these two buttons.
Now that is a huge time
It's the
saver
home
right there.
button. Yeah, home button.
So you don't actually have to re-joystick your way all the way back
Right,
down.
You just hold two switches. Now it should start bringing the jib boom down here shortly and spinning us at the same time. As soon as the slide boom goes in. There it goes.
There we go. And we're starting to spin right on our way back down.
Now it's going to take us right back where we
And this is super smooth. Like, I mean, we're not being thrown around, we're not being jerked around. We're just, it's like we're floating almost.
Mm-hmm.
That is really cool. Right back down we went.
And it's pretty quick.
Yeah, this thing's fast. I mean,
It's a lot faster than the competition.
I'm at 4 minutes on my GoPro, and we went up. How many feet do you think we went up right
probably
there?
about 70.
70?
Yeah.
Okay. So we went up almost to the full extent and come back down in less than 5 minutes. That's pretty quick. And we're right back down to level. Here we go.
Right down to transport mode, and it'll beep. Hear that beep?
Yep.
It's in transport mode right now.
Okay.
So now, after lunch is over,
Yep.
let's just go back up.
And up we go. Right.
It's gonna jib out.
So it's gonna take us right back to where we started
right,
from.
exact same spot where we started.
Okay, so we don't have to re-joystick our way back to
That's
where we
right.
were working.
It'll put you right on the same limb you were working on.
Wow. That is a pretty cool feature, I'm not gonna lie.
Now we have emergency shut off here, emergency shut off button here. We have emergency shut off button on the remote control, and we have one also on the panel down there. Now let's say you get up here and something happens, the motor quits, you run out of fuel. We have an electric pump that'll kick in and get you back down electrically. So it's a very unique feature. Now you can work this unit indoors. You just plug it in. Now it's at half the speed, but you're still able to operate it inside without the combustion engine. So you get to your next spot, hit the button.
Outriggers go back down.
Outriggers go down, levels up, and you're back up in the air again.
Oh, no, you're turning tracks.
Oh, my bad.
Now we're back up. There we go. Back up we go.
Yep.
So you mentioned two I thought were really cool safety features about this thing. One is if you're using this for indoor applications, say you're in a large warehouse building or a factory or something like that, and you got to go up to the ceiling or something like that, this thing will actually run. You just plug it into a 110, regular wall outlet, and it'll operate. Now it does operate at half speed, but it will operate. That's pretty cool. The other thing you were saying was, if for some reason, you know, you're up there, engine fails on you, it has an electric pump that will kick in, that will get you back down to the ground.
And actually you're able to actually track it also. Load it on a trailer or whatnot. Okay,
so it even has that much juice to get it off the job site.
And if it doesn't, you know, you might have to hook a generator up to it.
Okay.
Just plug it in.
But at least you got a backup to get it off the get it off the job site. So you're not having to call a tow truck or get stranded, or you're not stranded 60 feet up in the air, you know. Right. You know, having to get somebody with a crane to come get you down.
Also, if somebody has a heart attack up in the basket and he's 70 foot up, okay, you can actually get him down right here also.
Okay.
Okay, so like I said before, you got a kill switch here, you got a kill switch up there, and you have a kill switch on your remote.
That's pretty cool. You know, that was the one I was thinking about.
Safety features on it.
That was well thought out, well designed.
Yes, and there's, as you can see, there's not a whole lot. There's hardly any hoses or wiring on the outside of the boom.
Yeah, that would bust and get you lose hydraulics or something.
None underneath it. Which a lot of the competition, I don't talk bad about the competition, everybody's got their place, but they have a lot of hoses and wires hanging up underneath the machine.
Yeah, that'll snag on something.
Snag on stumps or whatever.
Okay, there you go.
Good.
Well, if you guys are interested in one of these things, you do tree work or any kind of stuff like that where you got to be high up in the air, this is a pretty cool machine, I'm not gonna lie. So check them out. You can contact CCE Equipment.